everybody, it's Gypsy, and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. So I'm inside today, of course. We had 2 or 3 days of beautiful sunshine, warm weather. I think that's over with now. It's been raining all day. Not supposed to snow yet, but it is Tuesday, and coming Thursday, which is Thanksgiving, we are expecting a snowstorm. High winds. I think on Thursday itself, somewhere between 3 and 4 inches, and I think a total throughout the whole storm, about 8 inches. So I'm glad I don't have to go anywhere for Thanksgiving. It's going to be here, and. So anyways, first I gotta show you this. You guys, this is gorgeous. I got this in a resale shop in my area. I get so many compliments on this. I wear it constantly. It's kind of like a cross between a poncho and a shawl. I don't know if there's a name for them. I'm trying to see if you guys can see it. But I just love it. And I love the color because it just goes with everything. And it's nice and long. And I wear it especially in the evening, like when my day is over and I sit down to relax. Looks like a loofah stuck to me. Oh. I just love this. I got it for, an amazing price. This is the thing. You can get beautiful things for very reasonable prices. I have done this all my adult life. I used to go to, when I had more energy, I just go around the neighborhood. I had a map. I would get all the listings in the paper of all the garage sales, the barn sales, the estate sales, and I had a map going on. I would get up early on Saturdays and I would just go around and I would get stuff like that. Well, now I'll go to the resale shops, and then of course I'm a vendor at the flea market. So, I have access to all this stuff. You guys can really save money, but still, I just love this. I really do. I wear it all the time. So, anyways, I am finally getting around to cutting up my loofahs. Now, I only came up this year with a few good loofahs. It's my first year growing them. Next year, now that I know more, I'm hoping to have a better harvest. So anyways, I did some research. Now, I saw some people, cut their loofahs long ways on one side and open them up, remove the spines, fold them, and then stitch it together to make a sponge like this. Now, mine looks pretty wimpy. It could be because my loofahs were not the best. I just put a little hanger in here to hang in the shower. So, these other ones, like this, I think I'm just going to use them in the kitchen and for cleaning. Just going to leave them as is. You can, cut them smaller, cut off the ends if you want. So anyways, there was this other way I saw that is so, I really think it's really cool. So what she did, okay, so she just cut up the side. And there was this one video, I think I found it, so I will link her video because she knows what she's doing and I don't. So I figure maybe you guys would be better off watching her than me, but I'm still going to do this just for fun. And then, you got to get up in there and you got to get the spines. So I'm going to do that. So you start this out the same way you do with just making a square sponge. So I'm just cutting out the spines. There you go. Anyway. I'm going to cut this one down just. Oh, another seed. I don't know how I missed all these. Anyways. Okay. So you have this. And then what she did was she took it And she stitched it all around the 3 sides. Now, I used this for stitching. I believe, well, this is 100% cotton, and I believe it's like a size 3 crochet thread. And I use that to stitch it together. So you want to get yourself a nice, sharp, fairly large needle. This is a doll making needle. And you're going to put this on here. Now, the difference that I'm going to do with this one is I saw that some people made their shower loofah sponges into soap ones. So that's what I'm going to try with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to knot my thread pretty good. Oh, is it dreary out there? Yes, get a lot of rain for the next couple days, and it's just going to turn to snow and be a snowstorm. So, yeah. Anyways. Oh, boy, this might be harder than I thought. So she just sandwiched her soap. Now, if you make the big ones, you could use a full, large bar of soap. And she stitched it in here. So I kind of used sort of like a couching stitch. Didn't come out as good as I used to do it. And I haven't done a couching stitch in decades. Yeah, probably about 40 years. So you just want to make sure it's good and tight on there. So this year is basically I'm learning and experimenting. So I have seen several videos that talked about growing loofahs, and all of them say they take a long time. I think I just heard from planting to maturity is a good 7 months, which I live up Northeast Ohio. We don't have that. So I heard that if you live in a cold climate, you want to start them indoors early. And then after first frost, get your seedlings out there. So that's what I'm going to do in 2026 for the growing season. And what I have found, even though I did not get a lot that were mature enough to use, one plant produces a lot. So I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of them. I don't know. I'll see. But anyway, so you're just stitching around like this. I'm pulling mine fairly tight. I don't know if you could see it. Make sure your soap is in there. So I'm just about at the end here. Now what I found is better with the soap ones, fold your ends down if you have the room. And then, stitch them because it seems stronger that way. So I'm on my last stitch here. And then I think this one I'm going to make my loop in. So I was thinking that when you do these and you have to cut out the spines, you have a whole bunch of these left, which I think is a waste. So I'm like, well, what can I do? And I was thinking, this one is just too thin. So I did not realize that these were magnetized. Okay. So I'm just going to snip that off. And then you have a soap one. Oh, I came across a video that someone was making these, but what they were doing is they were cutting them around. Now, I don't know how thick they did them, but they cut them around, And then they put them in like molds that kind of look like what you bake muffins in. And then they poured liquid soap, not liquid, but melted soap. They poured that in and then let it harden. It was like, oh, is that cute? People come up with great things. So anyways, I wish I knew who that was. I don't know, but I think it's a great idea. I'm trying to think what words to use to find it. Maybe loofah soap sponge mold. I don't know, something like that. So anyway, so I've got one without. I'm thinking I might, but then that's kind of small for a sponge. I don't know. That one's just a little bit thin for me. Okay, so those two. So I have one more sponge that I want to use for like the bath. So I'm thinking if I cut this one open, and so you have to, in order to get it to lay flat, you have to remove the spines. So, oh, and this one guy I was watching, he would leave some of his loofahs whole, you know, not like these are cut in half. So he'd have a whole loofah. And he would get these wooden dowels, D-O-W-E-L-S. And he would get a fairly thick one. And he would stick it through one of the, you know, cells here, the opening. And he would use it to wash his back. Or use it as a back scratcher when it's dry. I thought that was a really good idea. So anyways, people just are coming up with some amazing things. See, people are so creative that it makes us resilient. So if we need to save money or we can't get our hands on something, we always come up with something. Eventually, somebody comes up with something to solve the problem. So I guess, I don't know, I think I have more faith in humanity than most people do. But yeah, I mean, people coming up with all these great ideas for loofahs, so many things. So I can't wait to clean with my loofahs. I want to see how good that does. I've used a loofah like years and years ago when they first became popular when I was a young adult. But I haven't used one since. But it's just more rewarding when you grow them yourself, too. So, all right, so I have this. Now, I do have an issue, again, because I don't know, I think there's something up with my loofahs. Did not come out right this year. So, I'm thinking, what if I took the spines like this and put them back in, like I could cut them up too to make them fit better. But instead of wasting all these spines, which really drives me crazy. Okay, so I got this. So what if I just stitched them? How would that work? I'm going to give it a try. Now, oh, this one guy I was watching too, he said, like he grows a ton. I mean, a ton of loofahs. Not all of them he feels are good enough to use as sponges. So he puts them in another bin. And he uses them as fire starters. For you non-Appalachians, did you understand what I said? Yeah. You know, like, you know, when you want to have a campfire, you put those in, like people do with pine cones. And you just put them while you're trying to start your fire. I guess they're flammable, obviously. Okay, this is my first experience making loofah sponges. This is my first year growing them. So I expect that next year I will do a much better job growing them and a much better job making sponges and stuff. I don't know. For any of you who do make these all the time, you think this is too big for a cleaning sponge, especially in the kitchen? The way I cook, probably the bigger the better. Anyways, I don't know. So, yeah, these are fun to make. I wish I had more. I really do. but next year will be better. I think I heard somebody say one of these, I don't know, does anybody know how long one sponge will last? A loofah sponge. Like, because I'm hoping that bath sponge-wise and cleaning sponge-wise, I have enough to last me till next fall when I'll be making more, you know. But I really like the idea of the soap. And if I could grow them big enough, there is a vendor where I vend. He makes he has a really cool booth. For men, he makes the, what do you call, beard oil? He makes it homemade or whatever that is. But he also makes homemade soap. Maybe I'll get a couple of his bars of soap next year when I make these and put his soap in my sponges. Yeah, I do like putting the spines back in. Look how nice and thick that is. I like it. And then, of course, you know, for a bath sponge, you can cut these like, I don't know, maybe about this big, maybe a little bigger, I don't know. And keep them whole and round like this and use it as a bath sponge. It looks like you could do whatever you want with these. They're so cool. I love them. And they're all natural. I just love that. You know, you make him yourself from seed to harvest to sponge. It's just, that kind of stuff just amazes me. It thrills me, you know. Okay. I am almost there. Uh-oh. My dog may start howling. Here he goes. It's okay, baby. Sirens. We live on a state route. And, it's not as quiet here as you would think because of that. And sirens always make him howl. He's trying to, oh, look at that. Oh, I know. You just had to get one out. That's barely a one. You know, when a dog that size howls, you know. So this is the one where I put the spines that I cut off from the other ones. I stuffed it with those to make it a nice, thicker sponge. This one is the first one I did. Little on the skimpy side for me, so I'll probably use it for something else besides, bathing, well, dishes. I just don't know. I just don't know. Certainly wouldn't work on my cast iron. So that one, my first attempt, And then this one, I just love. It's adorable with the soap inside. I think next year I'm going to try doing the molds and stuff. It's just so fun. And then I just left these just as is. These are cut in half. And I'm just, going to use these for cleaning. And that's it. I'll see how they work. I'll let you guys know. I'm new at this. Bear with me. Have some mercy. So, anyways, if I don't talk to you before Thursday, have a happy Thanksgiving. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.